Achomawi and Atsujikwi, Tales and Myths by R. Dixon, 1909. This story is number 2 in this book, and it's called The Making of Daylight. Achomawi. In the beginning, it was always dark. Darkness was a woman who had 2 daughters and came from the eastward to gamble with Wildcat. She reached Wildcat's house at night, and after supper began to talk about gambling, saying, "I never came here before. I came to gamble." The others present advised Wildcat to play. So all the preparations were made, and sitting on either side of the fire, they began to play. Darkness bet her 2 daughters against all the people which Wildcat had. Darkness wanted Wildcat to bet her husband, Chicken Hawk, but she did not wish to. Finally, on Coyote's advice, she bet him as chief first. Then they began to play, Coyote helping to sing. He thought the game was going favorably and that Wildcat would win the 2 girls and that he would get them for wives. But just as she was almost won, darkness beat her. And taking Coyote, broke him in two and threw him outside. Darkness then threatened to stay dark all the time unless Wildcat would bet her husband, as Darkness wanted him for a husband for her daughters. Wildcat refused and bet other people in the house. All but 3 offered themselves to be bet. These were Rabbit, Weasel, and Caterpillar. Finally, all were lost to Darkness but these, and then Caterpillar said, "Bet me," and he came near where Wildcat sat. They were gambling with a small slippery thing like ice, instead of the usual gambling bone. Caterpillar began to sing and to win. Pretty soon, all but one of Darkness's counters were gone, and she began to be afraid. She was afraid of the smooth gambling stick. Caterpillar told her to sit still as she was moving about nervously. Suddenly, he slid the gambling stick across at her, and entering her body, it caused her to burst. Then Caterpillar took her body and threw it outside. The 2 girls were sitting there crying. One of them was going to gamble. She told Caterpillar to deal, but he refused. So she began and won until Caterpillar had only 1 counter left. Then he began to win and finally killed her just as he had her mother. He then threw her body outside. Only the youngest sister was left. Caterpillar told her not to cry, as he was not crying, although all his people were lost. They played and played, and as before, Caterpillar killed her by the same trick. Then Caterpillar said, In after time, people will say that I was the one who won my people back. Still, however, it was dark. So Lizard set to work to try to make light. He went over to Big Lizard's house and took a light with him. He told Big Lizard all about what had happened and told him that he and Caterpillar and Rabbit were the only ones left. Then Lizard put on his cap and began to dance. His cap was made of a grizzly bear's head. Rabbit was talking, singing, while Lizard was dancing near the house post. By and by it began to grow light. Lizard made daylight come by dancing. Rabbit said, "That is what people will say. That is what people must say. Daylight is coming. Daylight is coming." Then she made a mistake and sang about a man. Lizard was angry and said, "You are always thinking about men." His grandmother answered, "I meant to sing properly, but my teeth are all gone, and so I made a mistake." Lizard then told Rabbit to go out and see where light was coming. He went up and looked to the east, saw the dawn, and heard the birds singing. He came back and said, "I did not see anything." By and by, he went up again after Lizard had danced some more. This time, daylight had come. All over the world, people woke up and made a noise. Then Lizard stopped dancing. He told people to open the doors, to build a fire, and go out. It was springtime, and sunflowers were ripening. All the people came out and talked about lizards having made the light. The end.